and welcome back to Game of Trades, your #1 channel for videos on the stock market and cryptocurrencies. This video is going to be focusing on the S&P 500. We have a lot to talk about today. We're going to discuss exactly what's happening on the markets right now, what the technical structure is. I want to talk about the coming non-farm payroll report that's coming up on the 6th of August. That's an event that's known to move the markets, right? The NFP report created this massive move here. It created this big move back here in June. This melt-up move was triggered by a positive NFP report. So we're going to discuss exactly what we think is going to come up in that report. So I want you guys to pay attention very carefully in this video. I hope you guys will enjoy it. If you do, don't hesitate to smash that like button as hard as you can. Comment down below to let us know what you think. I do go through all the comments and take them into account for future videos. Please do not follow this analysis blindly. I'm here to give my convictions. I'm here to help you read the markets, tell you guys exactly what I pay attention to, what I don't pay attention to, how I read the technicals, why I expect certain things, but do make your own research before investing or trading. So now, without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, so this is the S&P 500. This video is going to be focusing on the short-term outlook. And when I talk about the short-term outlook, I'm talking about the next few weeks of trading, not the next few days, not the next few hours of trading. All right, I don't care about what's going to be happening today, tomorrow, or by the end of the week. I'm talking about the general trends. Now, from a long-term standpoint, we've already talked about quite a few times on this channel where we think the stock market is currently at. We are in a relatively unhealthy market. We're seeing signs of overextension here, long-term overextension, similar to what we saw during the dot-com bubble. We're seeing the year-on-year margin debt percentage change, make massive moves up. This is another sign of an unhealthy market. Bullish sentiment is also starting to get a little bit overextended, right? Look at this moving average of the AAII bullish sentiment indicator. This is a 50-day moving average, that green line that you see here, and it tracks the last 50 days worth of sentiment, right? And you can see this green line is currently at highs that we haven't seen since 2010. Now, in 2010, you can understand why the stock market is excessively bullish. After 3 years of bear market right here, same thing in 2004, after 3 years of bear market. But what we're seeing right now, this rise in the bullish sentiment, is what we understand as irrational optimism. But that's not going to be the focus of the video. I can talk about that in detail in another video. Right now, the market is still trending up. In fact, it's one of the strongest markets we've had in history. There's no reason to be looking for downside in the short term. We still believe that the market is going to be heading higher until we see an excessively bullish move. And that's not something we have seen just yet, right? We haven't seen euphoria in the markets just yet. In fact, if you look at the most recent sentiment reading that we've seen, we're actually at 30 to 40% of investors that are worried about a correction in the markets. So there's still quite a lot of fear in the markets, and I can see that in the comments section. A lot of investors are looking for massive downside in the stock market, and I can understand that, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen now, especially not while we still have low rates and QE. Now, could we see a large bear market if the Federal Reserve begins to tighten in response to a speculative move in the markets and the speculative behavior that we're seeing in the housing market, right? Housing prices are going off the charts. That's not something that the Federal Reserve necessarily wants to see. But again, right now, that's not what we're looking at. We're still in a bullish structure. In fact, from a technical standpoint, if I look at this, we're in a very, very, very bullish structure. We're in a very bullish structure. You can see the trend is steepening, right? We had this price channel that we were looking at here that was outlined by this line of support and this line of resistance. Then that channel was broken, you can see here. And then we had another channel here where we had this line of support, this line of support right here. Now that channel hasn't been broken yet, but it looks like right now, and we're trying to stay ahead of the game right now, but it looks like we're starting to get another channel right here, acting as support on these two occasions and acting as resistance right here. So you can see over time the trend seems to be steepening. So that's a bullish structure. Now, could we see a drop down here in the next few days and find support at this trend line? That's very possible. And in that case, that would be a relatively good swing trade opportunity with a nice stop loss just below that trend line. The risk reward here, with all the things that I'm about to show you in this video, the risk reward remains relatively positive, and I'm going to show you why that is. The first thing I want to show you is the US dollar currency index. We talked about this, I believe, in the 3 or 4 last videos that I made on the stock market. A huge number of people were looking at this inverse head and shoulder pattern here, and were expecting major upside from that breakout. But if you were watching our videos, you would have seen this line of resistance here, this powerful zone of resistance, along with this RSI reading here that was making significant lower highs while the price was grinding up here. That's not the type of thing that you want to see if you're expecting upside on the dollar. So why is this important? This is something we've talked about quite a few times. A weak US dollar is going to push assets higher. It's going to be a good thing for equities. It's going to be a good thing for gold, silver, copper. And so the fact that we've had this rejection off the zone of resistance and that we're back in a bearish technical structure, that's good for the stock market right now. We do expect that trend to continue. We're in a broader downtrend on the dollar, right? We had that major leg down period of consolidation here, and now we're resuming that downtrend, right? We do expect further downside here, and that could contribute to higher equity prices. If we take a look at the sentiment on the US dollar, that's very important to look at if you want to be on the right side of a trade. Sentiment works both ways, right? Look at this downtrend here in the dollar. Both of these two big bottoms in the dollar back in August 2020 and back in January 2021 here, both of these bottoms in the dollar corresponded to big bearish sentiment readings on the dollar. That tends to be the moment where net short positions are the most elevated, there's the most short interest, and that's usually when you get a bounce. So if you're looking for a short trade on the dollar, if you're looking for downside on the dollar, you tend to want to have the sentiment at around 50%. And that's where we currently are. We're hovering around 50%. So that gives the dollar room to continue its trend down and potentially continue to push the S&P 500 and equities in general higher into the year's end, into the next few weeks, next few months, perhaps until we get an excessively bullish move in the markets. Now, on our website on gameoftrades.net, I'm going to post an article today discussing exactly what sectors are going to be benefiting from this type of environment. And I'm also going to be posting a few different setups on Chinese stocks, emerging markets that are making some wild moves recently. That tends to be the moment where you can make the most amount of profit in the shortest amount of time. In fact, you can go and check out our recent article talking about how we are approaching asset allocation in the current macro environment to be prepared for deflation, inflation, and to have what we think is the best performing portfolio for this decade. But now getting back to what's happening on the markets. So we've discussed the general bullish technical structure on the markets. We've talked about the bearish technical structure on the dollar. And now I want to talk about yields, more specifically the 10-year yield. So I'm really trying to follow up on the last few videos that we've posted on the YouTube channel, because right now it does seem like we've been able to paint an accurate technical picture. Yields have a massive impact on the markets. If you want to know where equities are going, you need to figure out what the bond market is telling you and what yields are doing. It's often said that the bond market is going to tell you where equities are going to be going before they actually make that move. So that was the case back here in December. Right here, yields were trending down before the stock market made a major top. And I'm going to put the S&P 500 on top of this chart so that you guys can see that properly. Right here, big top in yields, big top in the markets just a few months later. Did the bond market know that the COVID crisis would be a lot more serious than what equity investors thought it was back here at the beginning of 2020? Perhaps so. So that's beginning to raise the same questions right now. Does the bond market know something that the equity markets do not know? Perhaps so. Eventually that gap is going to close. Either equities are going to be trending down or yields are going to have to catch up and begin trending up. Now, if we have that second scenario, if yields start to trend up here and we have that same weak dollar environment and we continue to have that bullish structure in the markets that we've had, if we have that scenario, that could create some wild move in the markets. Now, I know a lot of investors are looking for correction in the markets, but right now that's not what we're expecting just yet. We do not have enough evidence of that just yet. This is still, from a technical analysis standpoint, a pure counter trend correction, right? This move here in yields was absolutely massive. Yields were massively overextended here back in March 2021, and they needed to correct. We saw that, we talked about that, and so that's exactly what's happened here. We've retraced back down to the 50% retracement level, and we're finding support here. Now, another chart that I quickly wanted to talk about before I end this video is the non-farm payroll report that's coming out on the 6th of August. And you can see this chart here of the initial claims overlaid with the USA non-farm payrolls. So this is an inverse chart of jobless claims, right? The dark blue line is an inverse of the initial jobless claims. And so you can see jobless claims very recently have gone down massively. And so typically that's a leading indicator of the non-farm payrolls. So that could potentially suggest that on the 6th of August, we might get a nice surprise, a nice economic surprise, and that would be a very positive development for yields. And one more thing that could potentially lead yields higher would be the COVID-19 cases. Now, recently we've had the Delta variant that's been sparking a rise in the COVID cases. Perhaps that is what the bond market is currently pricing in. That is what is bringing yields lower and sparking fear in the markets. But if we take a look at the UK cases, we can see that the number of cases in the UK already spiked a few months ago and has been trending down ever since, perhaps suggesting that the fear we're seeing in the bond market is not as justified as we may think it is. Now, of course, we could always see the catastrophic scenario where we see a parabolic rise in the number of cases. Anything is possible, but right now we are still maintaining a reasonable and optimistic approach to the equity markets. We remain positive for the next few weeks, next few months, despite some signs of investors being fearful and despite obvious signs of a very, very unhealthy market for the long term. But of course, we are properly positioned for that. We are only talking about this from a trading standpoint. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, if you did, make sure to smash that like button as hard as you can. Now, in the meantime, good luck on your trading and see you next time.